inside, X-Men, Magneto with the two long ponytails. The top here, once again, Magneto. Some nice graphics there. I don't know who did the artwork, but it looks good. X-Men, flip it around, Magneto again. Pretty much the same ordeal. And then on the bottom here, you have your warnings of what not to eat, what not to intake into your body with this plastic. So, all right. On the back here, we got some nice cover art. Looks like we have the actual toy, and it's posed up in an action pose. Looks like we got some wiring in the cape here, where you can pose Magneto, which that is dope. My biggest thing about this is I know Mafex is gonna move great. I know it's gonna move just the way you want it to, just like that Batman. But I want that cape. That cape almost looks like a Crown Royal bag. And that's the type of feel I want. I seen some other guy do a review, and the cape, it looked like a Halloween, like a cheap Walmart Halloween costume, like polyester or something. So hopefully, when I crack this thing open, we'll definitely see what that's about. Looks like it comes with 3 alternate heads here. I really like this head here. It has a darkened face look. Like that face right there almost reminds me of like a face when Magneto tore Wolverine's adamantium out of his body. That is a sinister, everything black. Just like how I said, if you see somebody with some glowing red eyes and everything else black, get away from them real quick, because they crazy, because his face just went dark right there. He has the face with no helmet. And then we also have another helmeted. Actually, you can see his face. This thing looks dope, man. I'm ready to get into this. So, all right, I'm gonna open this up off camera, and then I'll be back with it. So there we have it, people. Age of Apocalypse Magneto out of the box. And the cape feels good. It feels looks good. My biggest thing, it looked almost see-through. I don't know, maybe like a sash or something. But the cape looks pretty good. I'm satisfied with it. I thought it would be just a little bit more better material, but it's actually the same material as any other cape that Mafex would use. I know on my Dark Knight Batman, we're pretty much dealing with the same material here. It moves great, as usual. If you're a little too rough with it, the joints... the leg will come off like with any other Mafex, but that's why they move so good, because they're kind of free. They're not so stuck like Marvel Legends or anything. Now, as you see here, I have them standing up. Just kind of want to start off with that flight pose. I have a poster in my garage, so I was just basically trying to emulate that. But as you can already see, like I said, this is a real quickie. I'm not going to go through a whole bunch of stuff like, say any other review channel, man. If you in the game, you already know how Mafex works and pretty much the playability with it. I will say this is the best Magneto I've ever brought in my life. And it kind of wins by default, because to me, there's not a lot of Magnetos out there. There are, but most of them are going to come from Hasbro. Yeah, well, or Toy Biz back in the day. And to me, before this one, my favorite one was the Toy Biz one that came out in 2003, 2004. This kind of almost reminds me of it because it has the removable helmet, and in that Toy Biz one did. I always thought that was a cool factor, that you can remove the helmet and see his real head scope underneath. Now we're going to go through some brief articulation, just something real quick. I'm going to show you pretty much how the arms and legs move. You move the arms out here, which is great. Full T pose here. As you can see, like I said, with these imports, they're real delicate. I found out that like Hasbro, you can throw it through a window. This right here, you throw it through the window, it's probably going to shatter on the window. You can't remove the helmet with this. I'll go through the head scopes, but you see a diaphragm right here. Can move, get real low. I mean, this thing can really bend back too. But the head movement, the hair, as you can see back here, prevents the head from moving back. So as you can see here, this is pretty much, you can do a left right ordeal, go down a little bit if you want to look down, because the ab crunch there or diaphragm crunch there will help you look down with it, but not too much. Magneto's not going to be doing too much anyway. Quick movement, he moves everything from a lift in the hand, the wave of the wrist, getting to the leg articulation. As you can see here, I would say double jointed. See how far he can kick up here. Put these down, and the other leg, so he can definitely kick a field goal. See that's great. That's awesome. I've never seen any Magneto that I've owned do that. Kick his leg up high like that. Most time, like I said, it's kind of a stiff action figure with a rubber cape, which prevents it from doing a lot. The cape on my Marvel Legends Magnetos pretty much keeps me grounded, no pun intended. But yeah, like I said, man, Mafex is always going to move excellent. A little delicate on the joints. Like I said, I'll show you how easy the leg can come out. Oh, I don't want to break it, but you know, your Marvel Legends leg, it's just not going to come out like that. So you want to be careful with these imports, especially after you pay $90 for something. But it pops back in easy. It's not like a Reveiw where you walking on eggshells playing with your toy. Mafex has never been like that, but it is a little bit more delicate than what you're used to. Okay, so I'm gonna stand him right there, and I'm gonna just go real quick through his accessories. Okay, so as you can see here, we got the effects, and this is better than any Marvel Legend effect that I've ever had, and it also has a hand inside it, and it's ready made to go effects here. I don't know if you can see that a little bit, but you can see the hand kind of formed inside of it there, the fingers. So some nice I guess magnetic effects, and we got a pretty nice head sculpt here. So head sculpt here, which is pretty nice. Pretty nice. I like that. Hair is kind of a softer plastic, except for the back. This back, like a Billy Ray Cyrus piece here, is hard as a you know what. So, this limits your movement here. And this is the blackened face, the dark face right here, where you know he kind of just goes dark, and he's about to really get on some big time stuff here when his face looks like that. I like that though. I'll definitely put that on in effect. And then last but not least, if I can get it out, we have the helmet, which will of course go on his regular head sculpt. That looks good there. He also comes with 3 sets of hands. I kind of got a mixed match now. I don't know which ones I got on, but the fisted hands came in the pack, and I like how this little bar they got here, so you can keep up with them. I have a lot of action figures, so I know there's one box with nothing but Caucasian male hands in it. I don't know who it belongs to, but it's Caucasian male hands. So I don't know if it's Mattel or Hasbro. I'm pretty sure they have a distinct difference about them, but I don't know. One day I'll just have to figure that out. If your skin tone match up to it, then that's what I'm gonna roll with. And then you got the fisted hands. This is the one that came with here. So all right, next up we got a smaller class of action figures. If everybody knows, if you collect Black Series, they're always a little bit smaller, but they're considered a 1/12 scale. So I have Boba Fett here. The one came out maybe about 4 or 5 months ago, battle damaged. And I have a Motu Retro Skeletor, came out last year. And then we have Mr. Satan, I forgot his other name, but from Dragon Ball Z. That's a SH Figuarts figure. And they run kind of small also, at least as far as I know with the Dragon Ball line. So there you have, you see Magneto actually, if this was real life, he'll have a foot on them. They look like they're about 5'5". He looks like he's about 6'3", something like that. So of course the smaller lines are a little bit smaller than him, but these lines run smaller with any 1/12 scale line anyway. If you got a Marvel Legends, just regular old Marvel Legends standing up to next to these guys, they're gonna tower over them a little bit. And actually, that Skeletor is a 5-inch line, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. They're trying to go with how He-Man originally was. Which, just on a side note, that Skeletor is dope. I know you see it when you go to the Walmart all the time, but that shit is hot. I like that. It moves good, and it's just like the retro figure. Ain't too much more going on with it, but if you had that as a kid, and the way that action figure moves, I'm guarantee you wouldn't have threw it away or you wouldn't let your mom take it. All right, we'll go on to the next one. First up, we got Batman, The Dark Knight, which is from the same company, the Mafex company, 1/12 scale, and they're about the same height. So they scale up pretty good together. I actually thought that Batman was pretty short, but he's not. Because as you can see here, I got him right beside Gladiator from the Shi'ar Empire. That's a Marvel Legends Hasbro, and that to me is a pretty big figure. It's not huge, but he's not considered a short figure. If he was regular size and human, he'd probably be a 6'5" or something like that. Because Batman is tall, and I'm pretty sure Magneto is also. So all of these guys pretty honed out at the same time. As you can see, Gladiator, his mohawk sticks out a little higher, but it's not like he's crazy towering over these guys. All right, last but not least, on the size scale, now we have lines that are considerably a little bit bigger. All of these are 1/12 lines, I believe, besides the NECA. I believe they are considered 7-inch, but please don't quote me, boy, because I ain't said shit. But we got the Storm Collectibles Skeleton there, and Storm Collectibles, they say 1/12 scale, but a lot of their figures, I know the Mortal Kombat ones, they're hanging more towards the 7-inch scale. I can play them in with 1/12, but it just has to be the right setting. Mattel also, Big Van Vader, that's a 1/12 scale, but with those wrestling figures in a 1/12 scale, those are some big guys. You talking about damn near 7-footers, 6'8" guys. So they always gonna run big as almost like they're a 7-inch scale. And then you have my boy Leonardo here, the movie Leonardo NECA, which is still to this day a dope action figure. I believe Anthony's Customs, before I even owned one of these, gave these #1 action figure over the past 20 years, and he's damn near close. Looks like it jumped right off the movie screen. We'll get into that later on. Maybe I'll show that some love later on. But as you can see, if this was real life, they would probably be standing. Leonardo's a little bit more closer to Magneto, but Van Vader and the skeleton will be standing about a foot over Magneto there. So it plays in well. If you got a 1/12 scale and something in the nature, it plays in well. Of course, you come with a 7-inch figure. The proportions on that figure is going to be bigger anyway. But these guys, everything I just showed you here, plays in well. And I'm a guy I like to, as you can see from my first episode, I like to mix in all my figures so everything looks good together after I present it. So there you have it as far as size. So basically, to make a long story short, I give this figure an A. It's everything I expected. I think the biggest worry about this figure was how was the cape, and I actually think the cape's pretty phenomenal. It's actually better than the Mafex Batman Dark Knight cape, which that's a great cape. I just don't like how it kind of drowns the neck on Batman on that one. I don't know. Something about it just seems like it's like a curtain or some type of dressing around his neck. This is a little bit more better put together because of that collar that Magneto wears around with looks like the beads around the neck. But they set that up pretty good. It's not as good as quality as I was saying, like a Crown Royal bag, but it's definitely not cheap looking. I will give it its due. It looks pretty good. What I did discover is, just like I said, how Mafex will move really good, but this one right here is it moves really good, but it's almost moved to where the legs are kind of limber. It has that Bambi effect going on. I gotta mess with his legs a little while for me to stand him. which when you get him standing, he's great, but joints a little loose in the legs. Like I said, I have to play with him to get him to do what he needs to do. But everything I wanted. It's a good figure. If you have the money to purchase it, buy it. I don't know much about Age of Apocalypse, but I think this is his best look. I actually brought this figure because of those two ponytails in the front. It's a different look on Magneto. I think it's dope. I think they played it off really well. And to me, hands down, it's the best Magneto. I've never brought an import Magneto. The ones I'm usually used to are a Hasbro or, like I said, a Toy Biz. That's the only ones I know that I've came across. And it's not much to that figure, but this figure right here will give you great flight poses. It'll do what you want to do, and then his ab crunch, everything. Now, he does have limited articulation on his neck, but hey, Magneto doesn't have to do too much. He's going to flip his wrist, and he's going to make things happen like how he's about to flip this car over right here. So, like I said, man, great figure. If you got the money, buy it. It gets an A from me. God bless. Y'all guys be good. See you on the next one. Peace.